class and new classroom and the new way of teaching and learning process. Let us give our best to make it successful. Do you recall in class 6 what you have learnt in the first chapter and science? Food, where does it come from? So there are sources of food, that is we get it from either from plants or animals. You also read about different types of food, that is carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals. These all are called components of food or the nutrients. Now our body require all these nutrients. Food is essential for all organisms. All living organisms require food. Plants can make their food themselves, but animals including humans cannot. They get it from plants or animals that eat plants. Thus humans and animals are directly or indirectly dependent on plants. So the plants, they are able to make their own food, and that's why they are called the producers, whereas animals, they cannot make their own food and they depend on the plants to get their food directly or indirectly. You read about herbivores, carnivores, omnivores. So herbivores, they take only plants, carnivores, they take plant and animals, and omnivore take both. Now those who are carnivore, they take the flesh of other animals, but these animals are dependent on the plants for their food. So directly or indirectly the animals get the food from the plants. Now mode of nutrition in plants. In biology, the first chapter we are going to read about, that is plant nutrition or nutrition in plants, right? Now the mode of nutrition in plants. Plants are the only organism that can prepare food for themselves by using water, carbon dioxide and minerals. The raw materials are present in their surroundings. So the plants can make their own food. These are the only organisms which can make their own food, and they use what? Water, carbon dioxide and minerals. The raw materials. So these are the raw materials. What are the raw materials? Water, carbon dioxide and minerals. These are the raw materials. And from where do they get it? They get it from their surroundings. The nutrients enable living organisms to build their bodies, to grow, to repair damaged parts of their bodies and provide the energy to carry out life processes. Now the organisms, all living organisms require food. So why do they require food? That means it has got certain functions in our body. What are the functions? It helps us to get energy to do work. It helps to build the body or to grow, and it also repairs the damaged part of the bodies and protects us from diseases also. So this food or the nutrients, different types of food or the nutrients, all organisms require. You get another term, that is nutrition. One is nutrient and the other is nutrition. What is nutrition? Nutrition is the mode of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body. So what is nutrition? Nutrients are different types of food, like components of food, as you read about carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and each component has got certain functions to do. Some help us to get the energy, some help us to get make the body or building the body or help us to grow, some protects us from diseases. So all these which are actually different these functions are performed by different kinds of food, and these different kinds of food, what we say, the nutrients. And nutrition is the process of intake of food and its utilization by the body. So that is first thing, we have to take the food. Now the modes of nutrition. So modes of nutrition, there are two modes of nutrition. One is autotrophic, and the organisms showing this type of nutrition are called autotrophs, and the other one is heterotrophic, and the organisms showing this type of nutrition are called heterotrophs. What is autotrophic mode of nutrition? Autotrophic mode of nutrition, auto means self and tropos means nourishment. That means organisms which can make their own food. So these are from simple substances, is called autotrophic nutrition. Therefore plants are called autotrophs. Animals and most other organisms take in ready-made food prepared by the plants. They are called heterotrophs. Heteros means other. That is, they get it, they cannot make their own food and they get the food from other sources. Okay. Now we may ask where the food factories of the plants are located. I said that is the raw materials. The plants use the raw materials to make their food. What are the raw materials? Yes, water and minerals and carbon dioxide. That is air and water. These two are the raw materials, and certainly these two raw materials, by using these two raw materials, they make their food. So where the food factory is present, or where these are manufactured, where the food is manufactured, where the food is produced, whether the food is made in all parts of the plant or only in certain parts. That is, whether the food, the whole plant, you already read about parts of plants also, like root, stem, leaves, right? So whether it is made in all the parts or it is made in certain parts. How do plants obtain the raw materials from the surroundings? Another question may come, that is, from how do they get this? Air is there, water is also there, but how do they avail this? How do they transport them to the food factories of the plant? Now if it is made in certain parts of their body, so how it is being transported there? So this all question which comes when we say about, that is, the nutrition in plants. So let us start with the nutrition in plants. Photosynthesis, this term you heard about in class 6. Photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Food making process in plants. Leaves are the food factories of plants. The synthesis of food in plants occurs in leaves. So what are the food factories where the food is produced? The food is produced in the leaves. Therefore, all raw materials must reach there. I said about the raw materials, carbon dioxide, water and minerals. So this must reach to the leaves. Water and minerals present in the soil are absorbed by the roots. So how do they get the water? The function of root you read about, that is, they absorb water and minerals for the plants. Also they fix the plant in the soil. So actually from the soil they absorb the water and minerals, and the roots of the plants help them to absorb this. So water and minerals present in the soil are absorbed by the roots and transported to the leaves. So that is, from the soil they get the water and minerals and it is transported to the leaves. Now because the food is produced where? The food is produced in the leaves. So the water and minerals absorbed from the soil must reach to the leaves. Carbon dioxide, they get it from the air. Carbon dioxide from air is taken in through the tiny pores present on the surface of the leaves. These pores are surrounded by guard cells. Such pores are called stomata. So the leaf surfaces, they have got tiny pores which are called stomata. These stomata which are present in the lower surface more, and upper surface also some stomata which are present, but lower surface it has got more stomata. Now these pores are surrounded by guard cells. That is, stomata is actually the pore, and these pores are guarded by the guard cells. The next we will discuss about this, what are guard cells and what are the pores. So certain the parts of it certainly we are going to read about. So the carbon dioxide they get through this stomata. The carbon dioxide enter into the leaf, and these stomata are present where? These are present on the leaf surface. Now water and minerals are transported to the leaves by the vessels which run like pipes throughout the root, the stem, the branches and the leaves. So that is, there is a continuous system, what you can say, that is transport system starting from the root to the leaves, right? So that is, water which has been absorbed from the soil, it will reach through this pipe lines to the leaves. They form a continuous path or passage for the nutrients to reach the leaf. You will learn about transport of materials in plants in chapter 11. When we will discuss about transport of materials, there again we will read about this, that how it is being transported from the root to the leaves. The leaves have, now this is the two raw materials. How do they get this? That we have discussed. Now next, very interesting and important part of this, the leaves, the color of the leaves, do you know? It is green, right? So why they are green? Because they have got a pigment or the colored body which is called chlorophyll. So the leaves have a green pigment called chlorophyll. It helps leaves to capture the energy of the sunlight. So what is the function of the chlorophyll? So these are the raw materials. Along just only with these raw materials they cannot do something, some way they must have, that is which will be helping it to combine this, right? Let us see. The leaves have the green pigment called chlorophyll. It helps leaves to capture the energy of the sunlight. This energy is used to synthesize or prepare food from carbon dioxide and water. Whenever we see what is energy, energy is the ability to do work. So the raw materials are there. Now this raw materials has to uh, processed in such a way so that the food will be produced. So certainly for this energy is required, and that energy the plants get it from the sun. Now the sun, just if we are getting the sunlight, we can stand in front of the sunlight, can we make the food? Certainly not. But the green plants can. Why the green plants can? Because they have got the pigment which has the ability to absorb the sun's light energy. Now the solar energy they capture, they utilize this for making the food. Since the synthesis of food occurs in the presence of sunlight, it is called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, what is photosynthesis? It is a process. What type of process? Food making process in green plants. Now why this name term is given? Photo means light and synthesis to combine. So in presence of light they combine. What do they combine? They combine the air, that is carbon dioxide, and water, and they get the food. And what type of food is produced? That is glucose. Oxygen is also produced in this process. So we find that chlorophyll, sunlight, carbon dioxide and water are necessary to carry out the process of photosynthesis. It is a unique process on the earth. I repeat, it is a unique process on the earth. The next video we will learn about the importance of it. Before that, let me explain this. It is a what about this process. The solar energy is captured by the leaves and stored in the plant in the form of food. The solar energy is captured by the leaves and stored in the plant in the form of food. Thus sun is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms. Now this is what sun is the ultimate source of energy for all organisms. Why sun is called the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms? Right now I have said that is the food making process, that is called photosynthesis. Why it is called photosynthesis? Photo means light, synthesis means to combine. That is in presence of light they combine. What do they combine? They combine carbon dioxide and water. And what do they make by combining this? They make the food. What is the food they prepare? That is glucose. In this process, oxygen, another gas, that is also produced. Now to make this food, the energy the green plants get it from the sun. Now the sun's energy can be trapped by a pigment present in the leaves of the plants. What is the pigment? Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the pigment which can trap the sun's energy. So the sun's energy converted into, that is, it is stored in the food. Now when we take the food, we get the energy. That means what? The food which is prepared by the plants, plant utilize this for carrying on their activities. Plants are also living organisms, so they carry out various body activities. Now when the plants are being taken by the animals, so the energy which was stored in the plant body, that passes on to the animal body. So the animals can utilize that energy which they get it from the food. But the energy from where do the plant have got? The plant have got from the sun. So we say sun is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms. So today's lesson is up to this much. Now let us recapitulate what we have, to sum up what we have learned today. Now mode of nutrition. Actually we are discussing about chapter is we are discussing, that is nutrition. Nutrition in plants. So in that regard, first we discussed, recapitulated actually, the components of food which are called nutrients. A term we get nutrients. Next, the all organisms which require the food. So why do we require food? That is the functions of food. We read about the functions of food. What are the functions of food? Nutrients enable organisms to build their bodies, to grow, to repair damaged parts of their bodies, and provide energy to carry out life processes. So this is, and also you can add up this with, that is, it protects us from diseases. Now next, another term we learned, that is nutrition. Nutrition is the mode of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body. Now mode of nutrition. Next, so we read about, that is nutrients, nutrition, functions of food. Then we read about, that is types of nutrition. This is autotrophic and heterotrophic. So autotrophic, that is auto means self and tropos means nourishment. Autotrophs, organism showing this mode of nutrition, this is called these are called autotrophs. And heterotrophs, the mode of nutrition, that is called heterotrophic mode of nutrition. And heteros means others. Next we started, that is photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? That is food making process in plants. Okay, now where is the food factory? Leaves are the food factories of plants. So where does the food where the food is synthesized? The food is synthesized, the synthesis of food in plants occurs in leaves. Right. Now next is raw materials for photosynthesis. The raw materials for photosynthesis, one is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide from air is taken in through the tiny pores present on the surface of the leaves. These pores are surrounded by guard cells. Such pores are called stomata. So what are the pores called? The pores are called stomata. So one of the raw materials, that is carbon dioxide, and the other raw material, water and minerals. Water and minerals are transported to the leaves by the vessels which run like pipes through the root. Throughout the root, the stem, the branches and the leaves. So that is from the So it is a continuous process. Before that, see, water and minerals present in the soil absorbed by the roots and transported to the leaves. Right. So first that is water, and next that is carbon dioxide. So not only these are the raw materials, but not only with these two they can make the food. They have a pigment, green pigment. What is the green pigment? Name of the green pigment, that is chlorophyll. And what is the function of chlorophyll? It helps leaves to capture the energy of the sunlight. So This energy is used to synthesize, prepare food from carbon dioxide and water. So what is the function of that energy? They get it from the sun. It helps them to prepare the food, that is combining carbon dioxide and water. Since the synthesis of food occurs in the presence of sunlight, it is called photosynthesis. So why it is called photosynthesis? Because the synthesis of food occurs in the presence of sunlight. It is called photosynthesis. Photo means light, synthesis is to combine. So we find that chlorophyll, sunlight, carbon dioxide and water are necessary to carry out the process of photosynthesis. So if the question is why water required for photosynthesis, water required chlorophyll, sunlight, carbon dioxide and water are necessary to carry out the process of photosynthesis. It is a unique process on the earth. It is a unique process. I said unique because no other organism can perform this process. So this is unique. The solar energy is captured by the leaves and stored in the plant in the form of food. Already I have explained about this. The energy from the sun enters into the plant body first. Plant utilizes this, they process this and make the food, and they use this for various body activities. And when the animals take the plants as their food, it passes on from the animals from the plants to the animals. So the sun is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms. So to sum up this one, the nutrition function, nutrients, modes of nutrition, photosynthesis, raw materials for photosynthesis, and from where do they get this, and sun is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms that we have learned today. So today up to this much is today's lesson in biology. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Take nutritious homemade food to boost up your immunity. Thank you, children.